You can never trust Spurs to get the job done. Drawing 3-3 with Southampton at St Mary's, a late equaliser from James Ward-Prowse from the penalty spot. His last two penalties, he missed both of them, and Fraser Forster's last 8 penalties, he saved 4 of them. So it was probably even Spurs' favours that penalty, but no, Ward-Prowse puts it into the top corner, pretty good penalty, and gives the Saints a point, which makes it a very, very tight and very tough for all the other teams now in the bottom half, especially with Leeds winning, and it's not looking good for any teams there. Although we say this with Spurs every time, they're never ever consistent. It's always, you can never predict it, really. I mean, I didn't predict it because I said before the game, I have a bad feeling that Southampton are going to get a point out of this, and they did. They did exactly that. And to be honest, if Spurs will get top 4, I don't know. But if they keep doing this, I heard people say about how, they're getting better results, but you can't, especially against bottom of the league. I think they went ahead. They went 3-1 up, so they went ahead about twice and bottled both of them by drawing 3-3. But you can't do that against bottom of the league, especially if you're battling for top 4. Teams like Newcastle, Liverpool, maybe even Brighton wouldn't let that slip up for them, and they wouldn't slip up against bottom of the league Southampton. Credit to Southampton though, because it would have been somewhat tough against Spurs because they're 5th. They did go 3rd for a little bit, but then no, came back down to 5th, which is what they always do. I don't know whether they can get top 4. I don't think it looks likely at the minute. Although also Newcastle, they did have a brilliant game against Forest yesterday, but is it? And Liverpool, their next 3 games are somewhat, I think, Arsenal at home, City away and Chelsea away, which they could maybe get something out of Chelsea. I don't see them beating Man City and Arsenal, even at Anfield. They have been postponed though, or today, quite a few of the games. Liverpool's game's postponed, and then tomorrow, Man U Brighton postponed, and City West Ham. West Ham are in the relegation zone now, actually, because of all the results. And as we're filming, it's 0-0 Chelsea Everton. Even worse. But yeah, Spurs, I don't think they'll get top 4. I might go with Liverpool just because they might somehow find a way to turn it round. Still think Southampton will get relegated because I know they have some good results here and there, but they're just never. They're almost the same as Spurs. They can't get a consistent. They're never in consistent good form, really. They're always just all over the place, and teams that will start getting into good form out of the bottom 7 will soon sort of outdo Southampton. They'll finish in the bottom 3. I mean, I don't know whether they'll finish last because there's still teams like Bournemouth. Maybe. I mean, you can't say Leeds at the moment. It was quite a good performance against Wolves. I don't know. I think Southampton and Bournemouth will definitely be relegated. I'm leaning towards Leeds. I don't think Everton will. Home form will keep Everton up. We were saying on another one whether home form will keep Everton up or their sort of lack of keeping a lead will take them down. I think the home form sort of outweighs that. So Everton, don't think so. I think the only team really is Leeds. I wouldn't see West Ham going down. If we do finish anywhere or the furthest down we can is about 17th, I think, because we've still got Southampton to play. We've still got Leeds, Leicester. Good result for Leicester actually today, drawing at Brentford. Brentford 10 men as well with about 5-6 minutes to go. So yeah, I don't know really. I think Southampton, Bournemouth definitely getting relegated, and I think I'm going to go with Leeds at the moment. Good old change. You never know. West Ham are in the relegation zone at the moment. I would actually see. I mean, we've not thought about Forest yet. Actually, Nottingham Forest. I mean, typical that they went 1-0 up against Newcastle yesterday, with having about no chances or shots or whatever. But that's what they managed to do. I think they'll get pulled into it. I don't think they will get bottom three. I think at the start of the season, my predictions for Forest were about somewhere like 12th or something. I thought they'd do a Brentford and might be absolutely brilliant, but no, they're not as great as we thought. I mean, they've spent so much money in this transfer window, and really they can't finish in the bottom five really after spending, I think, it must have been second or third most in the transfer window. Obviously Chelsea's first, but yeah. So if you spend that much, you can't afford to finish very low, even from just coming up from especially the playoffs. But top four, definitely think Arsenal, City and Man U will get there. Man U do play Newcastle actually, and if Newcastle beat them, which I don't think they will, then it's Newcastle level on points with Man U with the same games played. So it could tighten up in the top four race. Liverpool are quite a bit behind Newcastle, and Brighton have I think 2 games in hand on Spurs, and if they win both of them, then they could they'd be level on points with Spurs, which we've not actually seen. We've not talked about Brighton that much in this top four race, and they could do that. You never know. Although I don't see a team like Brighton doing it, because there's teams like Newcastle, Spurs, Liverpool in there. Although obviously for Brighton it would still be a superb season. So yeah. Anyway, Southampton Spurs 3-3. It was probably, I'd say, well, it definitely not a good result for Spurs. But could Southampton have got more out of it? Maybe, but they'll be happy with the point, to be honest. So that's all we have to say for that game. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.